What's going on, informants? Welcome back to a quick recap video where we'll be covering today's market meltdown. Welcome back, informants. We're going to discuss today's market meltdown. Obviously, we got news on Facebook and some antitrust and how they may have to split up. We also saw GE, booking holdings all actually turned green, while tech, yes, went red in different sectors, from NVDA to Netflix to Apple, all across the board. So should we be hitting the panic button? Informant Joe's going to let us know. Go ahead, Joe.
What's up, informants? First and foremost, I want to make sure you guys sit through this whole video so you can find out how to get your hands on our brand new deep in the money option strategy. And now I will take you into the SPX. So today we saw this big pull down. Nothing to worry about. Don't be alarmed. We do have this support here, something that I identified a couple weeks ago. We actually thought we're going to see this on Monday. Surprisingly, we got a small little run up, small red day, and then we got this pullback here. But we might even see another one. I wouldn't panic unless we get to like the middle of this range here. We're still going upwards. It's just a simple pullback. Ed, you got anything to add there?
Yeah, I mean, again, it's just it's a data point. It's only been one day, right? It's market's been running pretty hot the last few days. So it's just coming back, retesting. So this is healthy. Let's just see what the next day or two kind of provides in terms of information.
I agree. Let's check out pins. You got anything good on pins, Ed?
All I know is pins is our first best stock of the week ever recommended, and it has gone 200%. And I actually have a deep in the money call option on pins. So what do you have for me? Hopefully some good news.
Yeah. So we saw this earnings bump here. Directly after that, we got a big push down, and then it just never recovered. But one thing that pins did do is let us know that this is a key level. So I identified that almost immediately, and I've been waiting. And you can see how key of a level this is. Price has just been chopping around here. So hopefully we could see bounce off support here, which I've identified as, this isn't like a long-term support or anything, but it's definitely been, price has definitely bounced off of this a couple times. So if we can get a bounce here and maybe just a push where we get squeezed out here and just push up real nice and high, that would be great for your deep in the money call.
Awesome. Merry Christmas is coming early.
Yes, it is. All right, so let's check out Las Vegas Sands. This is one of my favorite stocks. We did have a 70 delta call, so a little bit deeper in the money, not super deep. We entered around here, and we saw this nice boost, and we exited around here. But since we've just kind of left LVS alone because nothing much has been happening. Price has just been bouncing back and forth. But today I took a look at it again, and now you can see that we've identified a new range that's happening here. So price is likely to move down to the support level and possibly bounce back up, but just something to be aware of because we could take advantage of a bounce down here. Let's see.
Yeah, and I'm sure some COVID good news will always benefit this type of stock, right?
Absolutely. So with all the vaccine news and everything else, the better the news, the better it is for LVS or WIN. We're going to check out NVIDIA next. NVIDIA is kind of interesting to me here. You can see that I've identified the support level, but there's a couple things happening. You can see my arrows here. You know how I feel about ranges and how to identify plays and ranges. We use the oscillator tool. We don't use SMAs. You can see they're kind of useless. They send false signals when in range. So one way to identify a range is saying, hey, there's a couple price support lines here or bounces here. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 bounces, 5 bounces, 6 bounces here, and then it acts as resistance in some places. But to identify the range, we've got the support, and then if you create an imaginary line up here, now we've got this resistance level that touches all these points. And you can also see, to confirm that we're in a range, that we're sending false signals with SMA. So we are in a range. But one thing I want to identify here with NVIDIA that's really interesting is that this is a possible double top here. We've got two tops at similar heights, and then we've got our confirmation line just below right here. And you can see price pushed pretty big yesterday, pushed down again even bigger, and you can see volume follow suit with that. So there's likely to be another down day. And if it breaks with some conviction, and by conviction, I mean volume higher and price lower and price matching the way that this price matches this volume, we might see a pretty big downward push in NVIDIA. Now, the alternative is we see a bounce here, we see a small green day, and then maybe a larger green day, which we can call a thrust, where price will close over the previous close. And then we don't want to get in then, because at this point, you know, we are in a range, but there's some weird things happening. So we want some confirmation. We want to break over this level with conviction. We'll talk about that when the time comes. Eddie, you got anything to add on NVIDIA?
Yeah, I'm curious. Can you pull up the SMH, the semiconductor ETF? Because I know AMD, Skyward Solutions were all down today, and I mean, as you can see here, actually, you know, the semiconductors have been in a tremendous uproar, right? And you can see here, you know, it's done an upward trend, and you know, it looks like it was deviating from that SMA line right there, and you know, it's coming back to a retest. So to Joel's point, right, it's a little early to tell. Let's see what the data points us towards, but it could go either way, right? It can go up or it can go down. Let's wait for some confirmation.
I agree. And then the next stock we have is Microsoft. So Microsoft is actually looking similar to NVIDIA. You can see that we almost have this double top. The only difference in Microsoft here is that we don't have that volume that's following suit for a larger bearish trend. We do have, you know, kind of a mixed bag of volume here. We've got some green volume, some red volume. We're not really seeing much divergence in, or any really in the oscillators here. So just be wary that we do have support here for Microsoft, and I do look for Microsoft. I am looking for Microsoft to bounce a little higher here.
Yeah, I mean, Microsoft's a great stock. Apple's a great stock, but you know, everything's been trending a little bit sideways for a little bit on the tech sector. But be curious to see. Any other final comments, Joe?
Yeah, check the links below to find out how to get our deep into money strategy. We should have a sign up form down there, and click like and subscribe.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Stay informed, and we'll see you on the trading floor.
Bye, guys.